Hey guys, I hope your KVKs went well this weekend. I am doing a video from my very unproductive farm, Regina, and we are going to cover part 2 in how to survive a civil war. And we're going to take a closer, in-depth look to Sanctum. And I think I haven't seen people cover it in depth yet, so I want to show you some things that you might not know. So let's look at the capacity here. It's 126K, okay? Now let's go to our hero card, and I made this hero just for this video, Maligent. He's the only one that has hospital capacity. Now look at that, 225K. That doubled the amount of souls. Another thing that I want to show you is how else do we make more souls go into the sanctum. And as you saw, I unequipped Maligent and it went back to 126, and now I'm upgrading the hospital. So I upgraded that hospital, and now let's check the souls. Do you see that? 128K. So it went up about 2K. So in order for you to increase your souls in your sanctum, you want to increase your hospital capacity. It's really simple, but just making sure that people know that, because a lot of people probably just think, oh, I have the Sanctum and Alliance Hospital, and don't think that they actually can keep increasing that, and that is how you do it. So I am now going to test something that is kind of cool and maybe kind of not cool. I have closed the Alliance Hospital. And what we're going to test right now is we are going to test getting hit without the Alliance Hospital and without having enough hospitals to cover my troop losses. Now, if you remember, I only have 45K troops, and my Sanctum has 128K for souls, and my actual hospitals only have 32K. So there will be a balance of 15K troops that we don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to be a full loss? Is it going to go to Sanctum? Let's test it out. So our friend from Bad, Iceman, is going to hit Regina, and hopefully he kills all her troops. I'm hoping. And that is the part that I think a lot of people hate, is healing troops in the Alliance Hospital. We hate using Alliance funds, we hate using gold, we hate the slow process. So the test here is to get rid of the hospital for the 2 million funds and see if the loss is going to be substantial or not. So after Regina trolls just a little bit, we will go back into my city and look to see the results here. And I think we'll look at the hospital first, because we should see that, yep, 32K, so it filled it totally. And let's look at the Sanctum. And 9,550 filled the Sanctum. So there was a surplus of 15K, but 9,550 went into the Sanctum. So we're missing about 5K troops. Now, maybe those 5K would have went into the Alliance Hospital. I'm not 100% sure, but that's not a lot. So I will gladly swipe this RSS to collect my ambrosia and heal these troops super, super fast instead of waiting, multiple days to a week to get those troops out of the Alliance Hospital. And I think our Alliance Hospital is about 76K, so your guys's might vary, but, is it worth a week trying to heal these troops for 56K to 76K troops? I don't know. It's all up to you guys. So the ambrosia is collecting fairly slowly, and in the rules of ambrosia, it says the more troops that die, the slower it collects, and the less troops that die, the faster it collects. Well, what I found out is if you heal your troops in the actual hospital, you will get ambrosia very, very fast. So watch this. I'm going to heal just a small portion of what died. And look, 1300 ambrosia, just right away. So if you imagine if you have 100K or 200K in your hospital, that's going to be a lot of ambrosia that you get right away. So that is what I wanted to show you. I'll just show you again, just so that you understand. So we'll just speed this up. And of course, you can have your alliance help you when you're actually trying to heal and you're doing a big chunk. So there you go. We have now 2,000 ambrosia collected. So that's a pretty cool little update there. I am a super big fan of it. I actually can't wait to get hit. I haven't gotten hit yet. So let's take a look at the actual report so that you guys can see what exactly happened here. So there's the Soul Resurrection, 9,000 troops went to the Sanctum, and let's see how much we actually lost. 13,671. That's how much we lost, okay? So 32K went into the hospital, 13,000 were lost, 9,550 went to Sanctum. Now let's see how many of those losses were traps, right? Because let's see here. Okay, so I didn't lose that many traps, so some of those losses were actual troops. So the only other way that I think that I could figure this out is if I did another test, the exact same test, and had it with the Alliance Hospital and see what happens with the Alliance Hospital. But regardless, my Alliance and I are kind of in agreement that we prefer just not dealing with the Alliance Hospital and just dealing with going straight to the Sanctum. So that is all up to you guys on how you want to run your Alliance or your hospitals or whatever. But we're super stoked about not having an Alliance Hospital and going straight to the Sanctum. Okay, so I want to try to do another test, and this one is going to be Regina sending her troops out to kill somebody and seeing what actually happens to those losses. I don't actually know what is going to happen yet. I just know what I've heard from people, and most people are saying that when they attack, their losses don't apply to Sanctum. So it looks like we lost all of our troops there. And yep, it's a bloodbath. I don't see any notification about another Soul Resurrection, but we can double check and look at the Sanctum. So let's check that out. And same amount, 9,550. So looks like losses when you attack do not apply, which makes sense. So we've talked a lot about defense. I would like to show you guys some tactics on offense. And here is an example of rallying out your troops. Now, we are going to do an hour-long rally on the lowest Barb there, and this ensures that we will be hiding our troops while we are using our attack march. This is only a really effective tactic if you have less than 4 full marches, or less than 5 full marches, let's say. You can rally out 4 Barbs, right, and still have your attack march, and you can still save your troops. But if you have any troops that exceeds that amount, this is really probably not a good tactic for you, because the more troops you have in your castle, the better, right? So I just want to show you guys this rally out method in order to save the smaller castles from losing all of their troops all the time, because it has to get tiring after being in a war for so long and all the big people are beating you up. This is just a really annoying tactic for the bigs to not be able to catch your troops. And of course, if the big times it correctly, they can also catch you. So you just have to be really careful and smart. So what I want to show you right now is I am getting hit and I'm sending my attack march out. Now, I'm going to get hit and notice I lost no power because my troops, my other troops, are rallied out in a Barb. So you'll see here, 0 loss. And that will drive your opponent crazy doing that enough times in a row, right? And so I'm going to have my troops come back. And I want to show you why rallying Barb is very important. I can apply my P shield right away. I don't have to wait for my troops to come back, or I don't have to cancel the rally. Now, if you do that to a normal castle, you can't peace shield. So you have to do it on a Barb where you can use that tactic to shield. So hopefully you guys understand the whole purpose of rallying out your troops is to save your troops. It's to be able to use your attack march and attack other castles while all of your other troops are safe. So again, only do it if you have less than 5 marches. And I think I'm going to show you one more trick that we have. I used it on Conquest. It's been used on me a couple of times. This is simply doing a freeze lock spell, and then doing an eviction. So let me show you right here. He's locked. And now I'm going to evict. And if he was in our kingdom, it would be basically 2 hours that he would not be able to come back to the hive. So if someone is demolishing your fortress and they are inside, if they are inside your borders, you can lock and port them. And that way, you will not have to see them for 2 hours. This just in, I had just woken up and I woke up to chaos. It sounds like there was some war that was going down while I was sleeping, and my poor little farm got hit. And she was the only one that got hit, and I don't really know why. But, you know, I can look at the log here as well, look under battles, and again, same story. And apparently when I was doing the demonstration over at Bad, I left my farm there. So Mel, the Kingdom Drama Queen, basically was fighting with Bad, and she brought Wolf into it, and I guess my farm was collateral damage and got hit by the wolf, and she lost her troops, her 15k troops I just healed, and she killed 3 troops. So here's my biggest advice about civil war. You can do a lot to prevent it. I could easily be upset that my farm got hit, but you know, as the audience, I know, my alliance knows that Regina doesn't do anything. I don't care that her farm got hit. I do care, though, that Bad got hit by DCH, okay? That is something that I do care about, and I don't like it. But I also know that Mel is the reason why it happened. And you have to remember that wars happen because of egos. And wars happen because of usually 1 or 2 people that want to assert their power, right? Because they're not in power or they have a power struggle going on. But you have to understand that I don't care. I don't care that my farm got hit. I don't have an ego of that my farm got hit, so let's all have our whole kingdom die. That is so pointless, and that is something that is really easy to reason with people. If you are in a war and if like something like this happens where your farm gets hit, you can decide if it's worth the whole kingdom dying or your whole alliance dying, or if you want to spend money to actually to do this, because a lot of times a war is really expensive. Ooh, I get to show you the resurrect. Let's resurrect all these troops. Look how easy that was. I didn't even have to do anything. There's one in Berger left. Okay, so back on topic. Basically, there is no reason to go to war for someone who wants it. If that person is not worth it, there is no reason to go to war. And I feel like a lot of big castles, a lot of big people get used in a lot of ways to fulfill their own vendettas. There's actually a YouTuber out there that has a history of harassing people, and he has constantly been sending people to me, to my kingdom, to my YouTube channel, to my line groups, to my Discord, to harass me. And he has actually reached out to Wolf and asked him to zero me. And the whole reason why he hates on me is because I mentioned in his Discord that sometimes it's wise just to wait to spend. And now he advises that in all of his new videos, which is hilarious. So I just think he needs to move on. Wolf and I talked. We're not going to fight during KE. We don't want to escalate any war between our alliances, and we're not going to fight over some random stranger who has his own selfish motives of wanting us to fight. It's not going to happen. And the funny thing is that I could do some really great content like Harvey Weinstein of KOA content, Bill Cosby of KOA content. And you know what? Drop in the comment if you would actually be interested in that, because you know what? I have enough information to do an expose, Barbara Walter style, and I'm totally down to do it. But the thing is that I actually want to be the bigger person. And if he can just drop it and just move on with his life, I have like no problem dropping it on mine. It's just a game. So I want to give a shout out to KOA. Thank you so much for featuring my video on your Facebook. It feels like, wow, that's such a compliment. I'm so glad that people are liking it, and I feel really, really blessed for that. I want to give a shout out to Luke from 124. He actually prompted me to make this video because he did ask about Sanctum and Alliance Hospital. And I want to give a shout out to Hetty. He is such a badass. He knows why. A lot of people know why, but I'll see you guys later.